No.
Look, man, I don't want to talk about Ashley. I'm trying to see what's happening with you. Threw me off a little.
How long you guys lived together?
Almost 7.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Plap, but you know what time it is. Talking to you guys today about Hollywood and talking also about his date and also about Ashley and Kwame's date as well. Alright guys, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. And for those of you returnees, well, you got the minerals, you got the minerals. Don't forget, grab your hoodie as well, send them back to manufacturer hoodie as well, you feel me? Alright guys, let's get into the video. Okay, so wanted to break it down for you guys, Mineral Gang. I want to break it down so you can see what I'm seeing when I'm watching the video. So when I was watching the date between Hollywood and I think her name is Jude, I think, but when they were walking in a park, okay, this is why I want to take it from there. Okay, the first thing that Hollywood kind of says is, what you think about me before we start. Now, this is very important. This question here, again, is what I call you guys, said to you guys, is battleships. What he's trying to do is establish position.
Or have fun, see if she could spark some type of interest. What you think about me before we even start? Seriously, like, I want you to be honest.
No, you're attractive. So
We ask these questions when we're trying to establish where do we stand, because then that allows us to know where are we going to next. And so he says, what you think about me before we start, right? And so he's testing to see how warm it is, okay? Like, how should I respond to you? If you think I'm very attractive, meaning that you're going to be more open to a lot more dialogue, conversation, action, flirting, etc., etc. If you're not very warm, then I know how to position myself in a relationship towards you right now. Okay, now maybe he's doing this very early, temperature check, very early. Someone might see it as egotistical or conceited, and one could see it that way. I would see it from another way, which is that the person is trying to, that's how they interact with people, right? They don't like rejection. That's what I wanted to say. They don't like rejection. So what he's doing is from early jump, temperature check to see where do you stand so that I know what you're going to bring to the table. If you're about to reject me, I'm not going to lie to do it. It can never be me, right? And so remember he spoke about his father and his mum as well and how that interaction of rejection, he doesn't want to be rejected here, right? And so it's to allow him to see or indicate how much success he will have in this interaction. Okay, now the fact that she said obviously she finds him physically attractive,
beautiful. Men can be beautiful. Look, I'm gonna call you out there. Look, blushing.
I know, it feels good. My mom used to call me beautiful, and I be like,
if you see the way that he reacted, like I said, those words began to supply the ego. Okay, I feel good now. I feel good. Da, 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 da. I knew that I would now. All right, cool. So the words supplied the ego, made him feel good and comfortable, right? But there's two reactions that can happen here. Someone's words can also feed your fear, right? So if you got a fear of rejection, what they could say could feed that rejection and make you feel scared at that moment, right? And that will make you withdraw from the interaction. Or it can make you feel more confident about the interaction and go forward, right? So since her words were positive, he went forward. All right, he's smiling and gushing at the compliment by saying she's beautiful. He says obviously that my mom calls him beautiful, and the fact that he knows he's handsome, and so he actively looks for these compliments. And the reason why I say that is because in the last date that we saw, in the last one, where they were doing a Jenga situation, he asked the girl the same thing: what do you think about me? Right? So obviously people's opinions of him matters, right? It gives him a sense of confidence, security when they're saying something actively to him. He has to ask that question though. And that's a big thing. He's asking the question about how he feel, about how they feel about him or how they rate him looks wise. Because remember, for him, obviously he said it already, you like a nice looking girl. You know what I mean? Not that it just stays there. He has to go beyond that, but looks are very important. So I'm guessing, obviously, then their comments on his looks are also important. This is what interesting happens. So during the course of the conversation, it quickly changes pace. And actually, the person in charge of the date considerably changes. So we had Hollywood starting off, you know, trying to ask for the compliments, etc., etc. But very quickly, I think her name is Jude. Jude takes control of the whole scenario. So she asked a question.
Didn't work out. So let's talk about the current one.
We actually been together for almost 9 years.
Okay, so what's the holdup?
Let's talk about the current one. Now, let me be very frank. Let's talk about the current one. Isn't a question, isn't a suggestion. She's demanding and commanding. That is masculine energy, right? To demand or to direct or to instruct or to command. I think I already said that. They are masculine energies. Now, I'm not saying that she is masculine. I'm saying to you, it is a masculine energy to emit when you do that. What would have been more feminine here would have been to say, suggest, oh, can we talk about your relationship? You know what I'm saying? Or what happened in your last relationship? There would have been a softer approach because they are questions or suggestions. Let's talk about, gave him no option. It commanded him to have a conversation about it, right? And then that also, and bear in mind, when you want to get into somebody's feelings, you do not operate in the masculine energy, because the masculine energy is going to protect. The feminine energy is to receive. So if you're trying to command someone to talk, right, they're not going to feel comfortable because now you're overbearing. You have to allow that person to open up to receive what you're saying. Right? If you operate in the masculinity there, they're going to operate in the masculinity. This is boys to girls, girls to boys, whichever way you call it. I'm just showing you something, right? So when she demanded that, Hollywood's back is already against the wall. Let's talk about the current one. His back is already against the wall, okay? And so she goes and say, and even when he's talking, she interrupts him. Again, this is a masculine energy. I'm talking about this because I want you guys to pay attention, because this is what we do to one another, right? And when we're having conversations, you have to be able to understand what type of conversation am I having right now, right? The type of conversation I need to have right now, does it need that much masculine energy, or do I need to operate in the feminine? Because both men and women need to operate in both energies in order to be successful in life. So in this instant, when I'm your boss as a woman, yes, you're gonna have to operate in the masculine energy to tell him, listen, hey, take that, move that to here. That's necessary because that's the relationship you have. When you're getting to know somebody, you don't command them. You do not command them, not when you're trying to get information from them that is sensitive. You operate in the feminine. You suggest. That's why someone might ask me, how come I feel so comfortable talking to you? Because I'm not operating in the masculine. I'm not trying to rip this out of your hands. I'm not trying to force it out of your hands. I'm not using brute force. You see, feminine energy uses power, not might. Okay, let me give you an example. This controller's in my hand, okay? Give it to me. Masculine energy. Oh, coach, can I have the controller, please? Feminine. You've asked. Or you can suggest. You know what I'm saying? So when you, and the other thing about this is that when it goes into might, is that the person tries to take it out of your hands. Hold on a minute. The person tries to actively take it out of your hands. That's might. Whereas, oh, can I have the controller? Again, it's feminine. So here she actually interrupts him and says, so what's the hold up? Again, his back is going to be against the wall. She's now going into interrogation mode.
For almost 9 years.
Okay, so what's the hold up?
I proposed with 2 rings. Actually,
okay, she first interrupted, and then now she's asking another question again before he's even finished the first one. That means now you're not actually really listening. You already have your assumption made. You have your point already made. You know where you're going. You know exactly where you're going, right? And she goes, obviously, so how long ago was this then, right? I know she wants to know, but in the knowing, you've got to be able to prize it out of me. Yeah, don't make me feel like I'm in an investigation. Let me have a conversation. Let me say it again. Don't let me feel like I'm in an investigation. Let me have a conversation. Why? Because we're on a date. Like, why would somebody want to keep prizing out the information about my ex, or sorry, about a partner that I have right now, right? Jude already made up her mind. She wasn't coming to play no games, okay? She knows guys like Hollywood, so that's why she operated in the masculine energy, because she already knew. She already had an assumption already that, oh, if you're in a relationship with this girl, yeah, then I'm not trying to play this game. I'm trying to be in a successful relationship, not one of these things where you play around, you don't know if you're ready for a relationship, da da da. That's why she went into investigation mode, because she wants to find that information before she proceeds forward.
4 years ago.
4 years later, what's the problem? What, you still want to get married?
I do. I want to be married.
To her, though.
So I do understand that, but you know why you're on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cussing. I'm letting you guys know, because this is the kind of behavior we all exhibit. Instead of you operating in the feminine to be able to suggest and to ask, right, what happened and to get this information, you're demanding it. Big difference. All right. And so you see Hollywood's face, you can see that he's under pressure, and now he feels like this is no longer a date, it's an investigation. Okay. And that will make him clam up. And then so she seals the deal with a judgment, all right? Another, I would say, hypercritical kind of move, where she goes,
Okay.
But I had cold feet.
I can't even believe she's still with you. You would have
Because
been
I'm
gone.
a good dude. No.
No, but the guys that didn't make it with me weren't that they weren't good.
I still can't believe she's with you. Well, but sis, we're on a date, blood. Why are you concerned about whether this girl's with me or not, bruv? We're on a date, which means we mean you get to know one another. Obviously, again, I understand the nuance of the situation. This is an abnormal situation, right? Normally, you'd be done with your girl or done with your man. You wouldn't be entered into a dating field when you know you're in a relationship, right? So I get that. But the fact that she said, obviously, still can't believe she's with you, that's still the deal for Hollywood. He's done. He's done. He knows already, listen, this girl is not going to give him an inch, right? And so now he starts to defend himself. I'm a good dude. Right? I'm a good dude. Why? Because I feel defensive now. Why? Because you are now attacking me. You're no longer operating in your feminine energy. You've now come on the masculine to demand and to prize information out of me. There's no need for that. I wasn't ready to have a conversation like this, and you've made it to be. Okay? So now his masculine energy, in response to masculine energy, is to stand up and say, hey, all right, cool. I'm defending myself now. Right? I've had enough punches. I'm defending myself. And you watch his face. Even his eyebrows begin to touch his eyes. That's how he was fussed. Yeah? And so she begins to explain, saying that the dudes that didn't make it with me. Listen to this. Listen to very carefully what she's saying here. The dudes that didn't make it with me. So she didn't say, oh, I had a few things that didn't work out in the past. No, she said the ones that didn't make it out with me. She put herself in the driver's seat as to they are the problem. They didn't make it with me. And just to let you know, I won't be in that same position again.
No, but the guys that didn't make it with me weren't that they weren't good dudes, but it was exactly that. It was the waffling and the I don't know.
Look, man.
I gotta let you know I'm about this life. Okay? So when she says that, she's actually saying to you, listen, you will become one of these other guys. I don't waste time. I don't play. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just kind of highlighting this to you. Okay? So she was showing what she was showing here in this moment is that she's willing to take control of the narrative, willing to take control of the situation. Okay, maybe she has a job where she's very, she's a boss or whatever, where she has to command a few people underneath her, where maybe she's a manager, right? Because the tone that she took, you know what I mean?
How long you guys lived together?
Almost 7.
Yeah, that seems like a really tight bond.
I think Tasha was a
Again, she's going to seal the deal for herself now and let him know that she's out the game. She goes, oh, how long y'all been together? And when she says it, you notice as well that her body is leaning away. She's like, how long y'all been together? And she's like, yeah, how long you lot been together for? Right, leaning away, because she doesn't realize she's doing it. She's mentally kicking herself out, and it's affecting her physically. And then he said, obviously, like 9 years. He said that seems like a really tight bond. Basically, Megan. Basically, pew, Megan. You know what I'm saying? Meep meep. Don't, brother. 9 years. That seems like a really tight bond. Yeah, I'm not about to start entering into this. This is just that's not for me, right? So that sealed the deal, right? She basically said she wanted to know the reason why it's taking so long. Once she got that out of the way, she's now put you in the books of I ain't gonna waste my time. I ain't gonna waste my time. Nah, I'm out. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, because I want to do another video. We do Ashley and Kwame, and also as well Shay and her man. But Yeah, that was very interesting watching Hollywood under duress. But I hope you guys not feel what I'm saying. If you disagree or like what I'm saying, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts down below as well. And we will go deeper in the comment section. Appreciate you guys. The lock to stay loaded. More love. Little black book, you know what time it is. Ah.